Hello, my name is Dominique Gabriela, and today I will present my business analytic project titled Bridging Sales and Supply Chain Problem and Business Analytic Approach. In this project, I will analyze two companies, NusaFresh and Logismart. The purpose of this analysis is to solve business problem by using data so the company can make better decision instead of relying on assumption. Now let's begin with the business scenario. Before we look at the analysis, let me explain the business background. Nusa Fresh is a company that sells healthy drink made from local fruit and tea. Over the last 5 years, the company has grown quickly and now sell its product in many supermarket, retail store, and online marketing across Java and Bali. To increase sales, Nusa Fresh investing in the digital marketing using Google Ads, Instagram, and TikTok. However, most marketing decisions were still based on experience and intuition, not on data. At the same time, the company worked with the Logismart as a logistic partner to manage delivery. As a sales increased, new problems appeared. The marketing team did not know which campaign product produced the best result, while the operation team faced delivery delay and inventory issue. These two problems are connected because successful marketing campaigns increase customer order, but if the logistic cannot deliver product on time, the customer satisfaction will decrease. Because of that, both marketing and operation need to work together using data-driven decision. Based on the business scenario, we identify six main problem business. For the marketing side, there are three problems. The first one is unclear campaign ROI. The second is unidentified high value customer segment. And the third is unclear product uh, priorities. And for the operation side, there are also three problems. The first is inefficiency inventory management. The second is frequent operational delay that have not been clearly identified. And the third is limited demand forecasting, make it difficult to prepare for future orders. This problem become the foundation for the analysis in this project. Now I will move to topic A, which is marketing analytic for Nusa Fresh. In this state, we define the business question based on the problem we identified earlier. The first question is which marketing platform generate the highest revenue, ROMI, and conversation rate? To answer this question, we use descriptive analytic. The second question is which customer segmentation contributes the highest sales? For this analysis, we examine customer group based on loyalty tier, age, and preferred purchase channel. And the third question is which product category are the most popular? To answer this question, we analyze the performance, purchase frequency, and customer demand for each product category. Next, I collect and understand the data. I use the five data set: customer, transaction, product master, campaign performance, and customer engagement. I connect them using customer ID and SKU. First, I load the data, then I integrate it, and the final, I prepare it for analyzing using Excel and Power Pivot. So for the first analysis is descriptive analysis, where the purpose of this analysis is to compare the performance of the three marketing platform, Google Ads, Instagram, and TikTok. So based on the result, Google Ads is the best performing platform. It generates the highest revenue of around 4.2 billion rupiah, the highest ROMI at 30,004%, and the highest conversion rate of 6%. Next, Instagram show moderate performance. It generate around 2.95 billion rupiah in revenue with a ROMI of 169% and a conversion rate of 4%. Finally, TikTok had the weakest performance. It record the lowest revenue and the lowest revenue for ROMI and also the lowest conversion rate. For this analysis, I can conclude that the Google Ads give the best return on marketing investment, while TikTok need to improve to become more effective. Let's move to the second analysis, customer segmentation. The goal of this analysis is to understand which customer group contribute the most revenue. From the chart, we can see that the bronze tier generate the highest revenue, about 1.76 billion rupiah, and it also has the largest number of customer. The silver tier come in the second, followed by gold and platinum. Although brown customer contribute the higher revenue, this is mainly because there are many brown customer, not because each customer spend more. Moreover, my recommendation is create a loyalty program that encourage brown customer to upgrade to silver or in the customer segmentation purchase channel, marketplace give the highest revenue, about 1.42 billion, more than online and retail. This means customer like to buy through online marketplace. Nusafresh should keep a strong marketplace presence. So for the customer segmentation by age group, the objective is we want to identify which age group contribute the highest sales. The results show that the customer age 45 years and above generate the highest revenue around 1.58 billion rupiah. The second highest is the customer with the 30 to 45 years age, and the lowest is the customer with the age 18 to 25 years group. This tells us that the older customer are the strongest marketing segmentation for Nusafresh. Moreover, future market campaigns should focus more on this age by highlighting product quality, highlight benefit, and trust instead of following trend aimed at younger customer. Next, this analysis evaluate the popularity of each product category. So the results show that the juice is the most popular product category. It generates the high revenue around 1.41 billion rupiah and also has the highest purchase frequency. This means customer buy juice more often than other product. Meanwhile, coffee has the highest average transaction value. Although the customer buy coffee less frequently, they spend money in each purchase. This indicates that the healthy product line needs better marketing and promotional strategy to increase customer interest. Now let's summarize topic A. First, Google Ads is the most effective marketing platform because it has the highest revenue, ROMI, and conversion rate. Moreover, the company should allocate more marketing budget to Google Ads and improve the TikTok strategy. Second, from the customer segmentation analysis, we found that brown customer contribute the highest revenue. Meanwhile, Marketplace is the most popular purchase channel and customer age 46 years and above have the highest spending power. To improve the business performance, the company should strengthen its loyalty program, continue promoting product through marketplace, and create targeted campaigns for older customer. Finally, from the product popularity analysis, juice is the best-selling product, coffee is suitable as a premium product, and the healthy category needs more promotion. Now let's move to the topic B, operational analytic. This is about Logismart logistic performance. Same as before, I specified three questions for Logismart. Question 1 is which warehouse has the best inventory management? Question 2, what the cost of the delivery delay? And the third question is can we predict future order volume? For the data, I use 5 data set, order volume, delivery performance, inventory level, supply lead time, and delay defect log. For the KPI dashboard and inventory analysis, I use Excel, but for the Pareto analysis, bottleneck, and forecasting, I use Google Colab with Python and Pandas because the analysis need more complex data processing. So for the first analysis, I use the KPI dashboard to provide an overview of LogicSmart operational performance. I use four KPI. The first is the total order volume, reach more than 35,000 order, showing that the company handle a large number of delivery. Among all warehouse, Jakarta processed the highest number of order. Second, the average delivery time is around 2 days. Although this is relative fast, Semarang has a slightly low delivery time than the other warehouse. Another important KPI is on-time delivery rate, which is only 64%. It means that more than one from third of deliveries are arrived later than the schedule. Lastly, the average supplier lead time is around 8 days, which may also contribute to delivery delay. Overall, this dashboard shows that the LogicSmart handle the high order volume, but there is still room to improve delivery performance. For the second analysis, is to evaluate how effectively inventory is managed across the three warehouse. The analysis compare inventory level, weekly demand, and holding costs. Based on the result, inventory level are generally well balanced across all warehouse. There is no significant sign of overstock or stock shortage. In addition, the holding costs are also very similar among the warehouse, which indicate that the storage costs are being managed constantly. From this finding, we can conclude that inventory management is already stable and well controlled. For the third analysis, I use Pareto analysis and bottleneck analysis to identify the main cause of delivery delay. Using the Pareto principle, we found that only a few causes are responsible for most of the delay impact. The biggest cause is traffic congestion, contributing about 29% of the total delay. The second cause is supplier delay, followed by inventory shortage and vehicle breakdown. Together, these four problem cause the most of the delay. The next is bottleneck. comparison delay costs across the three warehouses. The results show that all warehouses experience similar delay patterns. This means the problem is not limited to one warehouse but affect the entire logistic network. Moreover, Logismart should prioritize reducing traffic-related delay, improving supplier coordinator, and strengthen the transportation planning across a warehouse. The fourth analysis is I use the forecasting. I look at the monthly order volume trend from 2024 to 2025. Jakarta always has the highest order volume, followed by Bandung, then Semarang. I use the moving average method, calculating the average of the past 7 days to predict near-term demand. Okay, let's take a zoom look on the last 6 days. The red line is the forecast and the blue line is the actual data. You can see the forecast follow the actual trend quite well. Jakarta has the biggest change, so its forecast need more frequent update. For Bandung and Semarang are more stable, so the forecast is more accurate here. Okay, let's put up the whole logistic story together. Remember, we asked the first three questions at the start. First question is about inventory. The answer is actually good news. All three inventory have balanced stock, so Logismart doesn't need to change anything. Second question about the delay. We found out there is a four specific causes. The first is traffic. The second is supply delay, low stock, and broken vehicle. These four things is happen in every warehouse, so Logismart need to fix them company-wide, not just in one place. The third question is about the forecasting. Our 7 day moving average model works well, so it can help Logismart to plan ahead, especially for Jakarta, which changed the most. So, in short, keep the inventory system as it is, fix the 4 delay cost first, and use the forecast to plan better. Finally, let's connect everything back to the beginning. Nusa Fresh problem was two-side. Marketing didn't know where to spend money, and logistic couldn't deliver on time. My recommendation is simple. Fix both sides together, put more budget in Google Ads, and build loyalty program while also fixing the top delay costs to improve on-time delivery. Because a good marketing campaign is useless if the product doesn't arrive on time. That's why marketing and operation needs to work on team, not two separate departments. Thank you, and that's the end for our presentation.